Good day, fellows. This is Robbie Strike here. We are live on all sorts of different platforms. So tonight we're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of free satellite TV, the free satellite TV news, and all that good stuff. So says there's no viewers. Oh, there we go. We got one viewer. That's good. So if I can share my screen here. There we go. And how do I do that? It's black screen. Okay. That was strange. Oh, it's the video player. I got it. Okay, stop sharing screen. Reshare it again as like the window. I see. That's how you do it. So we got news with Rewind TV. Rewind TV is over on KU band on 91 West. 12.128 vertical. Symbol rate 8750. And it's 1080p according to TVROSat.com. TVROSat, it's a term used for satellite TV receive only. My term that I've enjoy using is free satellite TV, because what we talk about here is the channels that are free and in the clear, and basically like non-pay TV. It's like, because there's free TV over the air, kind of like the pay TV channels. I mean, a lot of the pay TV channels still have ads. So Rewind TV has, I guess it's more geared toward shows from the 80s, like these shows here. Becker was like, what, 2000s? There's basically, this is like antenna TV, except it's like maybe more of the newer shows, newer era from like. So anyway, that's available over on 91 West. I don't actually get Rewind in my area. I get antenna TV, and antenna TV comes in really clear and loud. So I'm live from geostationary orbit, flying around in my spaceship with my special powers on loan from God to withstand the radiation at this altitude. So we're rocking. We're rocking here on in orbit here. We've had some people call in via satellite, via internet, via the magic of communications. We got people up in the chat room. I'll bring them up right now. We have Kurt. We have Kevin, and we have Patrick, and we have another Kevin, Eggplant, up here. How do I get you guys all to join my screen here? I think it's something like that. There, I did a click, and y'all came up. I'm going to turn off my screen here. There, we got the background there that I'll have to minimize this or maybe change this up. Of the switcher. If you've had an Atari back in the day, you would recognize that background of the game select.
Yep.
It's going to bring down some of the audio here. There we go. Yeah, so I got some people over in the chat room. I like this background, the videotape background, VHS videotape background. So we got Minister Brandon in the chat room today. We got North Coaster Hobby. I don't know, maybe Patrick will go. The other Patrick, North Coaster Hobby, will call in. I do know North Coaster and Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Right. I know you guys have KU band dishes aimed at 91 West, so that's good for you guys. I'll have to get my dish pointed there because I got my my 36-inch dish. I got it on 103 West, and I'd love to have it up on if there's more channels. Like I say, I got all the NBC channels on 103 West, and I don't want to move the motor right now with how cold it is right now. I mean,
so it's too cold to put up a new dish.
Oh, I was out today. I was outside. So my fence, I don't remember, got damaged, and so the one for 116.8 West, it was not working for me. So I spent the last 2 days, and it's like minus double digits here. I don't know, minus double in Canadian, whatever it is. And so I was freezing my hands. I had my little Sathero, this deal here, Sathero. And it was, I was trying to get that, the dish, and I'm using a Shaw Direct dish. I believe in repurposing, reusing, recycling. So I got a Shaw Direct satellite dish. That's the great thing about here in Canada. There's plenty of them. You'll find them at the end of the driveway. People, you could, even if you want to buy one, you can buy them for like $5. There's people that'll put them up for like $60. They won't sell. Just try to get one for about maybe $5. A lot of people just throw them out. They have no idea what to do with them when they're done with them.
Those satellite dish makes a great starter dish.
They're a good starter. Yeah. Here in Canada, I guess the equivalent to the States would be like the Orbi TV dishes are quite good for that sort of thing. So we get another
I wear like surgical gloves when I'm out in this weather. I was using them today, and then I have regular gloves I put on when I don't need that dexterity.
Oh yeah.
I haven't really gone outside because I'm sick, so I'm like really sick right now, so just staying inside.
Not studio. I just want to go to Restream. I don't know if I've messed up my camera here. Just want to go to my status here. Okay, don't know. We're just here. We're here. I'll leave it alone. I just wanted to see if we're going out to all the other things. I see the chat room in YouTube, so that's a good thing. So I'm just trying to see what else is here in the comments. Okay, and also if you want to call in, I'll put the link in here. Maybe where we weren't connected before, but I'm just going to Control V. I don't have a bot. I haven't figured out how to use these bots and all this sort of thing in the live streams. So here, Restream just posted into YouTube and Twitch the link if you want to call in. You may have a question about satellite TV you might want to ask. You can call in, voice in with us, and it's kind of like a talk show, call-in talk show. You don't have to use your webcam if you're not comfortable doing that. You could just get one of these things, a microphone. Oh, you can't see it here, and get one that works, and you can call in and ask any questions you may have. I hear the beeping noise happening. Oh, yours. And one that works, and. But North Coaster, there's feedback. Got a pair of headphones. I can hear myself in the background. What happened to with the other video? Leo asks what happened with the other video. I'm not sure what other video you're talking about. So. Oh, I feel tired, guys. I don't know about you, but I was shoveling this week, and my shoulder is sore. I am out of shape, and so we got more snow on Monday than I think we ever got all winter last year, I think. So we're due for that, I guess.
Yeah.
At least in my we get as much.
I had a total of 6 inches on Monday. Central New York. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what that is in metric. Oh, what? 6 times 2.54, whatever that is.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're around 13 centimeters, somewhere around there, 13, 14.
Yeah, I think I had like I do know last week I have to like shovel up my driveway like twice. Man, was I not happy.
I shoveled my driveway maybe 2-3 times. I did it in shifts. And I said to myself, it was light snow because it was so cold. Because when it's cold, it's usually light snow. But it was so cold that there's so much snow that it was kind of heavy, kind of the heavier stuff.
All I could say is thank God for snow blowers.
Yeah.
See, I had one years ago, and then we had we didn't have very bad winters for a couple of years. We had one time when I used it, and the one time I used it, that's when the belt went on it.
Oh, up here, you need to have a snowblower. It's like like having a lawnmower. The snow stays up here, so
yeah. So yeah,
I do have a snowblower, but it's broken. I have to fix it or get a new one.
I've seen a lot of people with the electric snowblowers.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have. Oh, really?
I've seen one that was really awesome. Like it was a big electric snowblower, but a lot of these ones that you see now are like these little tiny things.
These aren't really
it's just got a shovel and do it.
Yeah, they're almost like an electric shovel. Some of the little ones, but like up here, the amount of snow we get, you need a gas powered one because it's too wet and too heavy, and we get just so much of it. Like we got my yard has 3 feet of snow in it, and it's not going away, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're gonna be stuck with that for a long time.
Yeah, those are made for Hollywood snow.
The key to a shovel is strong and very lightweight.
Yep.
Most of the time, I use
those snowblowers are made for Hollywoods.
Not the ones I use. They're not Hollywood snow.
Isn't it made for the snow that
you gotta have a gas-powered one.
You're not.
Most of the time, I can get away with a sweeper.
How can you tell me when a backhaul channel is up so I can scan the new channel? I just happened to do this a couple weeks ago. I picked up Sask Championship backhaul. The backhauls on Galaxy 19, there sometimes is backhauls on Galaxy 19, but not always. Not sure which transponder they would use for the backhaul feeds. I mean, at one point there was wrestling on there, and they're just happening to use Galaxy 19 as the main feed. If you're looking for feeds, I guess another satellite that's good for finding feeds is 91 West. There's 99 West for KU band. Mm-hmm. That's where having a KU band motor is kind of handy and helpful to have.
And having a bigger dish on 91 West is better. If you could put a 39-inch or a 4-footer up for 91 West, you'll pick up a lot more feeds too.
Yeah, in the description of this video, if you're on the YouTube channel, there's a ton of links for eBay. I'm not selling them, but they're just links to help you to find that. And on eBay, there is a brand new 39-inch dish that is really. The only problem is I can't find on eBay, like for someone who would be new looking for a KU band system, like where it'd be the dish, LNB, and the receiver and cable. There is someone selling that, but avoid that because they sell you like basically you have to buy another receiver anyway because the receiver they're selling with the package is junk.
It's a SCART receiver.
That is a nice advice because I am looking for a KU band.
So follow my links. You'll have to buy things separately, like the dish, the receiver, coax cable. Like if you already had like Bell or Shaw Direct or some satellite thing at your home and you've canceled it and you just want to see what's out in free to air, and if the cable's still there, then that makes it a lot easier. And a lot of houses already have that. Like when you move into a house, a lot of the time it has coax cable laid out through it.
Yeah, I want to have like a satellite television because I can get so many channels on here. It's just so worth it. But the only dish I have is a Bell dish, and that's not going to really work for like KU band at all.
No.
Yeah, I wish there was a seller out there that was like selling a full system that was like worthwhile system. But also like the receivers, I would say there's like maybe 2 receivers I would recommend. Either the Amiko for which is a pretty good receiver, or an Edison. But I would say with Edison and the Open ATV ones, you have to be a little bit tech heavy to be able to use those. Just because I don't know, there's a few. Every satellite receiver has its quirks. Like I was using this thing today, the Sathero, and I scanned in all the channels, and I'm like wondering what the heck. I can't find the video channels. It wasn't working. But then I realized there was I think it was the F2 or F3 button here. It set
on radio?
It set it to radio.
Yeah.
I did a scan because it took me forever to figure out how to do a blind scan on this thing. And it's like, it's kind of a different way of doing it than a typical satellite receiver. It's in here, but it's just hard to find. But this is the best thing to get. Like I don't think they're making them as much anymore, but to actually lock a satellite signal, the Sathero is probably, this is what I take out to adjust one of those little Shaw Direct dishes. These things could be like $200 to $300. I've seen them on eBay for even cheaper, but they might be like the cheap knockoff brands. I don't know if they're any better or whatever.
The price really skyrocketed on those things in the last year. Like when I bought mine, I think I paid $150, and that was about a year and a half ago. Now they're $300 and up, and you can't even find the 400 model. You might have to look for a Sathero 800 or something, which is probably a little better, I would assume, or more features maybe.
More features. Oh, the one with the bigger screen one.
Yeah. I haven't seen many of those, but they're pricey though. If you go for the,
they're a little bit of pricey, $400.
Yeah, they're in that range. Yeah.
This is about
$200. And what about those who are just a dongle that you put on your cellular phone?
Oh, for you mean for over the air tuner?
No, for there's some made from that are hookable to a satellite dish, and you hook it to your phone.
Oh, you mean those little green, those little V8 finders? They're a green color. Those little.
Yeah, there's a yellow and green one. The green one has a batteries.
Yeah, you got to hook up. I think you got to install an app for those, but I've never personally used one of those though.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes,
those little green ones. You might even have one, Robbie.
I have a hello box right here. I don't know if I have it in here. I have the box.
It's about the same, but it's made of instant PC.
Yeah, well, what this does. Yeah, what this is it's Android based. So there's an Android app. I don't really use it very much, but I have. It's just the box here, but it's just basically a little black device, and it has Bluetooth. So when you're using the Sat Finder device, it will move around and use it as a use it for that. So someone's spamming here.
That could be cool for like when you're going camping, instead of bringing like the Sathero and stuff like that, just use your phone and like.
Those portable Satheros, and also the GT Media V8. It's not as good. Usually the signal doesn't go above 70, but it works pretty good. You could use, if you have your dish aimed okay, then you could use that as a portable TV as well. And if you have a like a cigarette lighter type plug to power it, or you could use but I mean you'd have to have the cord, the right cord to charge the battery on the unit itself. But
someone has a question. I have a question. Can you use a diplexer switch to connect stab motor driven dish to 3K? Use stationary dishes. I have a 39-inch motor driving 3 and 3-inch stationary dishes. I'm actually doing this right now. I have a switch going out to a dish that has a motor but I find that the motor is not always hitting the satellites right. So there might be a power issue with that, with the amount of cable I'm using. I'm not sure. When I this is for my motorized dish. So when I'm running it through a switch, it just doesn't seem to work as well. Like if I have it directly to my receiver. And that's the thing is like, I'd like to play around with an over the air, like a terrestrial tuner and a dissect switch and run everything through the same cable. But I have a sneaking suspicion that if I use a device that does that, something's going to screw up in that process. I'm going to lose signal on either certain transponders. I'm not sure. I just don't trust that. Right?
Do you mean one of those combiners where you can combine satellite and antenna signals together?
Yes,
Robbie?
yeah. Something like that.
The thing with those is that like most satellite receivers now don't even have an RF out anymore. They only have HDMI or RCA. They don't even have an RF out to be able to connect that, eh?
Yeah, you mean they're not looping the signal? Yes, for sure. But
No.
It won't change much about using what we call a duplexer to make those frequency there. I did some install for Shaw Direct back in the day to be able to receive both the antenna and the Shaw Direct, and it worked great for what it was. I don't use them anymore. I have too long of cable to mess with that, So kind of useless if you put 100 feet of this to put an antenna and the end of it won't be good to receive any channel with it. So I don't use that. I still have those. It works. There's ways that it does work, but you're always better off with one cable. So what he says.
Oh, sorry, I'll bring him up there. Leo was saying. It's about an actuator question. From what I hear, the T200 actuators don't work right. I don't know. I don't have that actuator. I just have what cheap one I can find. He's talking about Tech 2000. I don't know. There's other groups of satellite people. I guess they don't like. I don't know. They had a thing out for Tech 2000, and they wrote a lot of slanderous things about them. That is the dish fall apart after a year or whatever. I don't know. I don't try to get into that in the community where there's like all that infighting stuff where people slander each other and all.
Yeah, that's it becomes toxic.
Yeah.
That's the bad geeky part of the hobby, and we don't need to do like the other guys.
Brandon,
there's no need for that.
Brandon, let's go. Brandon says, "My system is on a duplex and works well, but I've not tried it with a dish motor. I imagine that it would work well, but never tried. Are you talking about like with an antenna, TV over the air antenna as well, or just with your dissect?"
Yeah, from what I understand, will be one way or the other. If you have a motor on dissect, not on the other option, which is usual, it's gonna work. It's still always dissect commands. So if you can switch from one set to another, it means you can also move your dish.
It could be the receiver because it was glitching out on me. I mean, I would hook this thing up to it like with a 10 foot of cable, but then I have it down in here, and it's probably like 30 to 40 feet of cable, and I don't know, just never seems to be working for me where I have it. And where I did always have success is when I had a direct line from the receiver, no dissect switch or anything, direct line to the receiver for the motor, just to keep it bang on.
Because you cannot use a dissect switch in front of 100 feet of cable. It can. I think the cable is too lossy to to keep your dissect command in great shape. So it's a hit and miss if your cable is too long.
Yeah, I think it throws off the motor and never gets really back to the same spot where it would say it's supposed to be at. And then as soon as I brought it back, and I'm running U cells on that system.
That's why it's worked with the V-Box, a C-band dish, because your V-Box is near your receiver, so you're not moving the signal up to the dish. So it's a great idea to convert your V-Box to a dissect switch to a dissect receiver to command to move dish, because you're actually not throwing the dissect command through all the cable up to your dish. You're not doing that. So
another color.
The dissect command would just basically have an automatic stop position for each satellite.
Anyway, we have our color here, so I'll bring him up here. It's a DJ Sub Air. How's it going? Welcome to our...
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good.
Hi.
Did you have a question, DJ, or?
What I did want to ask North Coaster is, have you actually used a 22K switch in front of a dissect switch to control? Let's say then you'd have 8 satellite feeds if you had one that was just a 4 output dissect.
Well, you could, let's say you had 2 satellite 22K switch. You could have one satellite in the off position, one in the on position, and then feed that to a dissect port, like for example, port 1. So then you'd have to go into your menu and set each satellite to with those commands. So for example, let's say you had satellite 97 West on 22K on and dissect port 1. And if you had the other satellite, say 103 West, you'd have to have that on dissect off or 22K off and dissect port 1. So basically dissect port, but you have to have the 2K switch set correctly for each one. So
okay, so on each port you would just configure it accordingly.
Yes, for each satellite.
You would say either have your 22 on or off. So I do this with Shaw Direct because there's 2 LNBs on each dish. So the default setting is to have it off for the one side of the LNB, and then for the 4 degrees separated on those particular dishes, you turn it on. So, for example, I have a Shaw Direct dish. I have it on 116 West, and I also have it on 121 West. Not a whole lot of channels there. They don't have the news channel on there anymore that they used to have. Or at least I wasn't able to pick it up today. So I think it was just test channels or something that was on 121.
Yeah, Dish Network has like a promo channel and
like a promo channel.
Beacon kind of, your
it's a satellite test card. It just shows that it says you're pointed at 121 West or something like that, and it just plays music in the background.
Yeah. So I mean, I wish every satellite had that, because at one point they almost all did. They would be like, use one channel just to let you know that you've locked onto that satellite.
And
now there's quite a few satellites that don't have anything on them. But I think even like within the last year or so, I think there's been at least more stuff scattered across the arc, I guess, because like C-band, you can find signal even if it's encrypted. At least you find something on that frequency. Like if you're setting up a motor or an actuator dish, you can move it along and make sure you're aligned properly. Right?
Yeah, and when you can find, like, the good thing about like those dish encrypted channels, they're very strong transponders, and like even on 91 West, like you can hit the Bell transponders very easily. So at least you could use them as like a landmark, if you will, to set up a satellite. So if you're at 91 West and you hit the Bell transponders, you're at 91 West. If you want to go to 87 West, you just go a couple of degrees east. So they're good for kind of setting up a fixed dish or a motorized dish for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah, North Coaster, Patrick. You got me inspired with the VHS backgrounds now.
Oh yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
Your beta. Which thrift store did you find all those beta tapes at?
At a Value Village, actually.
Oh, Value Village.
Yeah,
Wow,
I couldn't believe it. I'm looking around, and you know how they got those bags on the wall. They have like everything bagged up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm looking. I'm like, oh, there's like 3 beta tapes. I'm like, that's unbelievable. And I look again, and there's another bag of 4 and another bag. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I found a whole sealed pack of 6. I'm like, I gotta buy all these.
You have a beta player?
Yeah, I got like 7 of them.
7 of them.
Yeah, I keep collecting them.
You can never have enough of those.
No, and like I got.
If one breaks, he has another one.
Well, exactly. I don't know how many VCRs I have. Probably 6 or 7 VCRs, at least 2.
I don't have that many. At least I have 3 good ones, and that's good enough.
Oh, I got tons, and you know what? I'm a Luddite like that. I just can't get rid of that old stuff. I gotta stop shopping at thrift stores because it's costing me a lot of money.
I don't know. Do you have any laser discs? Because that when I went to a Value Village, that's what I saw at one point. Just a stack that somebody had donated. I don't know how much they're selling them for, but I don't have anything to play that with.
No, I don't have a laser disc, but that would be cool. But it's it's hard to not buy that stuff when you see it. I gotta stop shopping there.
Yeah,
you always find something. That's you.
Well, that's the thing. Like the other day I found. Do you remember those video game computer switch things for the old like Ataris and all that?
Yep.
Anybody? Robbie?
Yeah.
One of these things I got in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that from time to time.
I found one of those brand new in the package still. I got it for $1. Like I can't leave it there.
The thing is,
still in the package. The plastic was all yellowed, and
instead of using that thing though, I really like to use this. I'll pull it up here on Amazon. It's like just basically like a headphone jack type thing, like RCA to. It's like a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Coax Atari. See if that comes up. There it is. There it is. There.
That works with an old machine.
Yeah, I mean, my screen being shared. Yeah,
it's
there we go. Yeah, one of these things. Oh, yeah, it looks like this. It's just basically like your coax connector, and it gives you a cleaner feed if you're hooking up like an Atari or
goes from the RCA to an RF. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So you just use one jack, and you get like those things. You get so much signal loss on the switches. I just remember always having a snowy picture both ways. I guess with the antenna, and if you watch TV with an antenna, it didn't matter. But something like that is something. Yeah. These are $6. I've seen them cheaper. I think there's 2 of them that usually when you see them on.
Do you just put it on channel 3 or?
Usually 3, 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah,
it would be on.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a good idea though, because I've never seen that actually connected that way. Just a direct connection, bypass that thing.
I used to do that.
You'd have to use a transformer to go to coax on the old one there, and then
a lot of people have done mods like that too.
The matching transformer on the output.
Yeah. But
that's
what
cool.
we find on this? What do we find on this? On those are there 75 ohms RF on channel 3, or what is it exactly?
Yeah, those devices are they go from, like, for hooking up an old video game system, it goes from 300 ohms to 75 ohm.
Oh, okay.
Or that one, or that little one that Robbie showed. Sorry, go.
Before the RF modulator inside, you could find the video signal, and just use that to hook it up to the composite in on your monitor, and will be less of currents or anything. You will have the signal itself if you can find the pin before the RF modulator on the actual video console. So
okay. Kind of bypass all the guts inside.
Yeah, bypass the RF modulator. You go before it. You on the tray, you find the video channel, and you'll probably not be at 1 volt. I think some are too low, but if you have amplificator or anything, it could even work. The best way to find it is with an oscilloscope, or just actually take your try and try to find where is the. That would be even better. Yeah.
Just solder. You just solder wires on there and run it into an amplifier, or.
If it's not, there's a trick on this. I don't remember quite well, but if it's high enough, if it has 1 volt, you check it with a meter. If it has 1 volt when you're showing something white, it will be fine, and your monitor will be able to sync on it and have a video signal from that. It's kind of the reverse of what the 8-bit guys is doing with his little TVs. Because he's taking those little TVs and putting a composite signal on them directly by modifying.
Yeah. I think he's put a composite output and a component video input. I guess for RGB for RGB that I know of.
Yeah, he can do that also.
So to switch a little bit here, so North Coaster, Patrick, we were talking the other day about forward error correction, the FEC.
Yeah.
It's a method of obtaining error control and data transmission in which the source transmitter sends redundant data and the destination receiver recognizes only as the portion of the data that contains no data apparent errors. So we have this in satellite where the FEC will be 2/3, or it'll be like 3/4, or it'll be higher. And when it's higher, that means that you can get more of the pixelation. So some of the channels that scan in and say have a high FEC rate, they're more likely to have like one of the channels I see like distortion, like pixelation at the bottom, because the data is not being cycled as much because they're not fitting as much data into that stream. Is that what basically you were saying the other night?
Well, yeah, like the FEC is like you said, it's just kind of extra data they send to correct any errors in the transmission. But the higher the FEC, like if you have like say 5/6 or 9/10, then what that means is that every 6th bit of information is used for error correction, or every 10th bit is used for error correction, which means that you have to have a really strong, stable signal, meaning you need a bigger dish to collect enough information. Basically, those channels are more finicky to receive because they have less error correction. So that tends to mean that you need a bigger satellite dish, and usually those broadcaster channels, like for example, the NBC feeds are 5/6. Those ABC feeds on 99 West, those 422 feeds, I think those are 9/10. So you either have to have a big dish to receive them, and I think that's kind of their way too of also just making them more for broadcaster only, because they're harder to receive, eh?
Yeah, it'd be like a TV station with a KU band dish, but it'll be like a 6-foot KU band.
Exactly. And most people are going to have like, the dishes we use, 39, 33, maybe a 4-footer. So the channels that are on like 97 West have an FEC of 2/3. Like that, like it's almost, I mean, I guess once you get a little good at it, it's like it's hard to miss the satellite,
you know? Can get it with Shaw Direct dish. You might even be able to get those satellites with even smaller dish.
I wouldn't be surprised if you modified a Bell dish, if you could pick some of those up. Maybe a big Bell dish, but
yeah, you get maybe a couple. You wouldn't get all.
Yeah, no. That's the thing, and that's why like some people, like when they set up a dish for say 103 West and they want to get the NBC Cozy channels. Well, they won't get the NBC Cozy channels if they're using a 33. but they will get the those SRV channels like Loop TV and NHK, because those are on I think 3.4 FEC. So they're easier to receive because they have more. There's more redundant data to correct errors with a 3.4 FEC than there is with a 5.6.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a 3.4, every fourth bit of information is for error correction, or like with the 2.3.
Yeah, because the NBC books used to come in on a clear day, kind of like over the air TV. If you have a clear day and with a smaller, you'd pull them in sometimes. All of a sudden they'd scan in because it was like really clear in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and
I've never had luck with a smaller dish on those. I've got to use a 39.
Oh, this is quite simple, in fact, because if you try to double with the KA band, now you have a variable effect because you have a pilot and everything is on the fly. So the effect will change on the fly, and the bandwidth could also change on the fly according to the weather outside. And everything can change according to many different situations. So it could change on the fly. And your receiver can even communicate on a separate low bandwidth to be with the site to be able to recognize when the spec or when the stream will change its bandwidth or his way of compressing it. So imagine if we were receiving on KA band, that will be all this will be on the fly. So good thing we don't have to face that.
And KA band, like that's such a high frequency. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but wouldn't KA band, like that would be easily washed out by rain, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I thought so when they get because it's in fact about 39 gigahertz. I might be mistaking myself, but it's so high though. I don't get how they could. That's probably why they are doing this on the fly, because it's a miracle that the sign goes down to earth at the can see. So.
Well, they probably need to do it like they would need to do the FEC, the forward error correction real time, because it's probably, if they didn't, then the signal probably wouldn't be received.
That's also probably why they're using transporter that are aimed at different place on the map, on the footprint. So if you have 32 transporter, each of them are covering your footprint, but one will not cover the entire footprint. So doing this will put a higher gain, a higher wattage out, so it would probably help take down those high frequency to the weather and everything. So it's another way of thinking. So good thing. I just don't. I hope we will not face that situation in the future when everything is gonna be on key band.
Well, that
hopefully
what I'm trying to with the CTV, I'm trying to get on 119. That's got an FEC of 5.6 and
5.6. A lot of them are 5.6. Yeah.
What size dish are you using, Kurt?
26. And I was able to get it when I was on 107, and I'm pretty sure I was able to get it like 3 or 4 months ago. But it was always been kind of touchy. I can get the weather, and there's a couple Parliament channels and stuff like that. But it's 4020 is the frequency. But I just can't get one. I gotta find a bigger dish and then let some of my small ones go.
Yeah.
And I got a titanium LNB on it.
Okay.
Titanium does. They're offering an LNB that is 5G compliant. I already had. Well, I feel burned by Titanium because I bought an LNB years ago, and it said on eBay, wherever I got it, that something about it's going to help with 5G. And now I noticed they took that down off of their product, and then now they have a new LNB, and they're saying it's more able to block the 5G signals. I haven't bought one yet because I'm not really finding 5G is causing too much effect to me. I'm
assuming if you're closer to a tower, then I guess the interference would be more prudent at that point.
Yeah,
those are just
funny how,
with a low. It's just a low pass filter, by the way, huh?
It's just a low pass filter.
What you
so
get
explain that, Patrick.
Probably works
so
like an FM trap.
Yeah, it's kind of a FM trap, is what I mean. Yes, because it's all, after all, what you get down on your cable. I think it's FM frequency, if I do remember. Because the LNB is doing the math to get your high frequency down, so it can transport on your cable. So afterward, before doing this, it will take your high frequency and knock off the frequency that is not used anymore because they're used by the 5G. So what it does, it's just like you say, it knock off the frequency you don't need. So your receiver will not see that, and it will be less problematic. But it's just a low pass filter, the same way we use an AM radio, and the same way.
Oh, it's like a crossover or something for a stereo system.
I don't remember quite well because I'm not that good in telecommunication, but it's kind of done with caps and some stuff, some electronics. You can calculate quite easily a way to remove a bunch of frequency out of your bandwidth, so you won't see that. It's a low pass filter. We call that a low pass filter.
But I think the ultimate, you'll just if you're closer to a tower, you'll need a bigger dish. It's like it's just gonna come down to that. You'll need a bigger dish.
Yeah, that's true. Bigger is always better.
It'll be fun.
Better.
It'll be fun to see how, like what I'm doing right now is I want to see how an 8-footer C-band dish will perform. Here in Canada, they have 5G, but it's going to be a little bit different than what they have in the States. I guess the cell will work the same, but it's being rolled out slower too. 5G, it's like we're always like, I don't know, it could be like 3 years behind the States, or we could be like
or more.
Yeah, or more.
We don't even have sub channels yet.
We don't have sub channels. We have internet here. I think we're like ahead with internet in some ways. But I mean,
you don't have any sub channels on your over the air TV?
There's no sub channels. No.
Really? Because we have it over here. But then again, I'm closer to the lake, so I guess that's why I get more of it than you guys do.
But they're American sub channels, like no Canadian.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the Canadian sub channels.
It's like, for example, CKWS here in Kingston. It's like 11080i channel. It uses 20 megabytes per second. Most of the bandwidth for the ATSC carrier is all like that all into their video quality. So it's really good quality. But there's only one channel, and a lot of the Canadian
if you want more,
I only get like.
That's why I had to buy an HD Home Run Extend, and it was like not a very. You don't really need that product, but what the HD Home Run Extend does is it allows you to. It'll take the channel and it'll compress it from MPEG 2 to MPEG 4H.264. And send it over your Wi-Fi. So, like, I like my local news. Well, not so much now, but I used to like it when it was actually local news and not Anyway. And so
in Canada, you need to petition Bell Canada if you want to more over the air channel, because they're the.
No, they won't do that.
Not sure.
They are the problem. Try to petition.
They want you to subscribe. That's why they don't want to put any more up.
The thing with Bell are with
5 channels or 7. That's the most I get.
See, like on cable, Bell CTV, they have like CTV Life and CTV Comedy and all that. They could easily offer a bunch of sub channels, but they make people pay for cable, and then they went and shut down all of the analog rebroadcasters across Canada. So now there's only a few digital over-the-air transmitters left in major cities, except for, I guess, Sault Ste. Marie still analog. But that's about it. Once they close those down, it's just going to be pay for cable or pay for satellite. And, they're going to... That's the problem. Is over-the-air is not...
It will shoot the Canadian broadcasters in the foot, because I think we have quite a few Canadians in here right now. And they just go to streaming. I mean, I'm on YouTube. I'm on all video type platforms all the time, more than what I am on with cable. And I think a lot of people are. Like, I'm just a Gen Xer, but like if you talk to anyone who's millennial or younger, they probably don't even. Very few millennials have cable. People I know who have cable are boomers who haven't learned how to.
Oh yeah, and cable and paid satellite service, all of those, they're all in decline. Like, all you hear about is them losing. Every quarter the reports come out, they've lost X number of customers. So they keep they keep raising prices because of the retransmission disputes, and boomers that are paying for cable are paying more and more, but it's less and less customers overall, especially as streaming and all that becomes more available.
And also they try to reinvent cable by making like an Android box.
Right.
But it's just the same thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, the Rogers Ignite box is basically a streaming box. Like the cool thing about it is you don't need to run coax cable; it connects to the router, so and it works like a cable box would. So it still has like your traditional channel 3. I think they have other features like pause and rewind, but that's all at a cost compared to free satellite TV. If you buy like most free satellite TV receivers, you plug in a USB storage device, and you have a PVR, and you can record stuff. There's no let me put this there. There's no EPG guide anywhere, but for me, it works perfectly for me, because I don't really have a lifestyle where I'm going to be sitting watching TV for several hours during the week. It's usually a few hours, like for news, like just to have the TV on for noise and see what's happening in the world. Which is on KU band. If that's all you want, most of the channels for news are on KU band.
Yeah,
I don't even have my TV anymore in my room, because we don't watch TV
for. With a rendezvous every time with a fixed hour. We don't do that. In fact, we're just trying to get our we're just trying to get our propaganda. The fact is the younger folks don't watch TV anymore. So
they're on social media.
Do, but not all the time.
So back to what you're saying, Kurt. So I may have been mistaken on the spot where it is. It's CTV is at 119 West.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And it used to be on 107 West.
Yes.
And then they moved all this.
And I was pretty solid on that one. Yeah.
If you really like the Weather Channel.
Oh yeah, I know. I can get that. Yeah, I can get that all day. That's no problem.
There's weather there. Yeah.
And I can get it's hard for here. I'll just look at I can get the there was Parliament I was getting.
Assembly.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was there. Actually, I do like that.
You know what? They finally put the Legislative Assembly of Ontario in the clear, because that was encrypted for the longest time.
You know what? That's a value to me, because I'm in Ontario and I want to hear what's going on. So I might tune that in. I didn't really realize that was there.
Yeah, well, it is now, but like I said, it was encrypted for the longest time. And then
it's so Canadian to encrypt
It seems pointless that they encrypted it, because I figured all of us should be able to see it. But then again,
they have Robbie. They have
you're encrypting everything. You just encrypt everything, even if it's free. You already paid for. You just encrypt it. We all do that, and they all do that in Canada.
The number of weather channels too. It was kind of funny when I was on 107. There must have been like 20 plus Not that they're all pretty much showing the same thing.
I think those are all feeds for different
Oh,
cable
that's
providers.
right.
Because if you look, a lot of the graphics are blank, so then they have to put the local weather information in there, right? But they just kind of it's like a template basically they're sending out, eh?
Well, I was watching some older videos, and they were talking about Jeopardy and how they used to get the commercials sent to them, and then they would tape them in the studio, and then obviously play it locally. Well, they chopped it up according to what they needed. I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen some of those videos.
That's quite that's quite fair. Doing this the way you're explaining. I never heard of it.
I'll have to find the video for you.
Yeah, because most of the time the locals are playing the ads.
That's gotta be something.
Yeah. So CNN is actually pretty desperate for ratings now. So they are in the clear on 19 West.
Oh,
I've never been able to tune them.
What did Turner said when they first started CNN that's gonna be playing forever?
Yeah, we'll never. It's gonna start, or it started, and then it was never gonna stop until I don't know, the end of the world. Pretty much.
I think it's device. I think news all the time, something like that. I think the motto was news all the time.
Yeah, and the thing was, at the time, back in the late 70s, he started in the early 80s. People thought he was crazy to have, who would want a 24/7 news channel, right? But he had this, it's kind of a good idea. Like, I'm busy all day long. I don't have that time to catch the news at 6 o'clock. So I'd like to be able to put it on and see what's happening.
It was a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, it was a lot of work to the tapes on the time to get on the air, working with pneumatic tapes and later with MOTECK MSP. So imagine, it's like the movie Network. I think when you see the woman, that's running all the to get to the head broadcasting with her tape and running her tape on the air. So the good old days were quite hard to make it to the air. Everything was hard work back in the day.
But they had a lot of people, I guess.
They were
using that and some others too.
There was no broadcast server back in the day, so.
Yeah.
Robbie, I'm just looking on Linksat here. Yeah, and they do have on Linksat too, CNN. But it's interestingly enough, it's on a circular transponder, eh?
Yeah,
11,898. Right. Well, maybe it is, but I'm just wondering if you could probably even pull that in with a small bell dish on your FTA receiver.
No, you wouldn't be able to because it's on Dish Network. The adjacent satellite 119, and I'm assuming this is on 118.7, because they're so close, you're going to need the wider Dish 1000, right? And you need a circular KU LNB, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, but the bell dish has a circular KU LNB on it. It's a smaller dish, but you could probably aim it and pick it up. Because I picked up the.
But my understanding was it's an FSS circular, but then again, I'm not 100% sure. But I do have. I would have to try it at some point.
Interesting, though.
It's probably the same transponder. Because if you think about it, the bigger the narrower is your signal. So if you have a big, you won't be able to. You will be able to another satellite that is just aside from the other. So you will be able to get the signal, but if smaller, it sees more of the side of the side that is just nearby. So I wonder if it's just a transponder, and you're better off with a small dish in that case. If in that particular case, because if you have it with a circular LNB. I think it won't help.
Yeah. Well,
Somehow,
CNN comes
I
and
don't
goes.
know if it's not a matter of the bandwidth size, but the transponder itself that is spraying
Yeah.
more. You know,
Well, a
big
circular
dish means bigger,
transponder.
better signal. But if you're broadcasting too wide transponder, it
Mhm.
won't help much dish, you know. And it's exactly
Well,
what they're doing
interestingly
with
enough,
Bell
though,
dish. Come again?
but the Bell, the circular transponders on Bell, those must be they must be a really small, like tight signal because the dishes are very small, and a circular beam, I'm pretty sure is a lot more. It's a lot more compact than a linear one, which is why you can use a smaller dish. But what I was going to say is that I've even picked up Bell transponders with a Shaw dish. So I think you can pick up circular transponders with a linear dish because I did a video on this.
Yeah, but it won't
you can
be.
pick, you
It
can,
won't be. You will have some difficulties having the signal. But since
I
dish
didn't
is
have any difficulties.
no,
I
your
picked
DB,
them. I picked them.
your DBM will be lower with horizontal vertical LNB instead of a circular one.
Oh, it might be. That's true, but it is possible. What I'm saying, it is possible
Yeah.
to pick up the circular with a linear LNB, but not the other way around, though.
Yeah, that's right. It's a matter of fitting the pattern of the frequency, the wavelength. It has a pattern, a circular pattern or a horizontal vertical pattern, and it's just a pattern mismatch. So you can do some stuff, but it won't be the ideal situation.
No,
but it could work. Somehow it works, but it's kind of harder, and you need a good FEC in that case. Yeah, that's the point about it. Why is there always a dead silence when I finish talking?
I don't know what to tell you.
it happens every 7 minutes, they say. So, well, the FEC on all
there's a
those
lot of subject.
Yeah, the FEC on those dish transponders are all 3.4, so that's pretty low.
Is that for that CNN feed?
Yeah,
Patrick?
yeah. And let me see here for Bell.
If it wasn't so cold, I would try some of these experiments, but not right now.
Well, yeah, I gotta wait till it warms up here.
Yeah.
Actually,
when
interesting
your
enough, the
Fahrenheit
Bell
match with the
yeah, the Bell FECs
I was
7
telling
out of
that
8.
Yeah, when Fahrenheit match the Celsius, it's quite cold.
You got it. No difference.
Yeah. I'm not daring going outside anyway. I'm stuck at home because I'm sick. So
I see those circular LNBs for $22 on eBay, and they have, I don't know what I consider the elongated D fitting on them, so they could fit on a, like
just
on
got an
AT&T
idea. I found
pizza dish type
if
stuff.
you want a great circular LNB with the dish possible, you just take those China CKU LNBs and you put those little
dielectric.
Dielectric, and you're gonna have your and I think you're gonna be able to do both, but with less dBm on your KU band, on your linear band. The problem with that situation is that you're getting it's worse for vertical and horizontal KU bands. So it's used. In fact, I think it's used for the lower European satellite. Those circular LNBs in particular. more over on C-band because there's some circular LNBs for C-band, and
Yeah, I think there's only one satellite, and it's mostly South American channels that are on it.
yeah.
I don't really put the plate in my LNB.
No.
I usually just don't bother putting it in because like I'm not there's like just those few channels, and I didn't know if that plate would mess up anything else I'm trying to pick up, so I just leave it out.
Yeah, me too. I
It's
don't want to
not the
disrupt
best
I have
the
it around here somewhere.
C-band channels I want to get.
I was using the plate back in, I think it was 2017 when the BBC was free, and I'm thinking it was on 43. I'm trying to find it now. They use it for their, what do they call it, their patrons when they're off. They need a subscription, but it was free for, I don't know, like a couple months. It was kind of interesting to watch the actual what the
Well, I tried to pick up the BBC, the KU band stuff with my motorized dish. That would have been like, I don't know if it was like 17 west, or it's really far on the eastern part of my arc. But I couldn't lock it, and I was trying to get just I guess it was the freebie challenge, but even just to try to lock the signal, see if I can get it. But I wasn't able. It is spot beam for Europe for the most part, so I wouldn't be able to pick it up. But I thought maybe just give it a try. Maybe it might work.
I'm trying to find it, but yeah, I mean, this was like I said, it was like 4 years ago, but still, it was kind of interesting to watch him.
Someone asked an ATSC modulator question. Can you program an EPG through an HDTV modulator that has an Ethernet port? I don't think the ones I have don't support that. And I think it's just a matter of having the device that supports that. I don't think any of the commercial level modulators do. It'd be kind of cool if they did, because I would just schedule it to break every 2 hours or every hour, so at least you can using any kind of tuner or receiver, it makes it easier for scheduling your recordings. If it just had like 2 hour blocks, because what happens with a lot of the over-the-air recorders is if you hit record, it's just going to record unless you tell it the timeout after 2 hours. It will just record until your hard drive fills up, and I've had that happen to me a few times. HD video can fill up a hard drive pretty fast if you leave it going for a while. So I don't know if anyone else has
with that
played
kind
around.
of question. Does he want to be a broadcaster or what?
Oh, he wants to start his own pirate TV station. He's getting buy a modulator and or plug it into his local cable system and in a small town, and he's got his own channel.
He's going to backfeed the system.
Yep. Yeah, so I imagine there might be some out there on the market that will support that, but I haven't seen one that does that. And they're quite expensive. I bet you if there was one, it would be like they're a really expensive one. And they don't have the feature that I would really love to have, is like something where you put 4 channels into one carrier. So I have 4 720p channels on, say, channel 14 or whatever on your modulator.
Your own sub channels?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
The modulators don't really support that, though.
No.
It's just because they're built to be for what they're meant to do. What they do, right? Put one channel out on one frequency. Yeah. They're basically they got the Canadian mentality, no sub channels.
Yeah.
One channel and good quality video, and that's it.
Yeah, I think on that subject, could talk to EBS with their server. They could do that. There's a lot of stuff they're doing in that neighbor of in that kind of things. EBS don't just do EBS. Those who make the DBS cards, they make servers with a lot of them, and it's computerized to the roof. So maybe they could be a solution for him on
there's
that.
Always a solution offer, yeah. But for sub channels, I actually got to say this. My local CKWS channel, They're owned by Chorus Entertainment, so they actually have one of their radio channels as a sub audio carrier. So if you hit the SAP button for the extra audio feeds, they actually do have their FM radio station as a feed.
As a sub channel?
Yeah, not as a sub channel. No,
just as a secondary audio.
Secondary audio, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leo was telling me about a PBS sub channel that's audio only that he gets over the air.
And it's like broadcast on FM, or
no? It's like through his TV. It's an over-the-air channel, but it's a sub channel that's audio only. It's like BYU, their audio only channel on 91 West C-band. Yeah, it's kind of like that, eh?
Yeah, I think like a few of the ATSC tuners that I have actually have the option for radio. So because they can fit audio channels on it, probably a lot of audio channels because like audio doesn't take too much bandwidth.
Right.
And for audio channels, like there's some of the satellites, they have 100 channels on one audio channels on one transponder because they can fit all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would be
video.
Cool.
They compress it more, but that's why we get like the H.265.
Yeah, that reminds me of the old FM cable. Like you could listen to Much Music or the Movie Network. You connect your stereo up to your cable, and you can get all those FM cable channels back in the.
Those 90s, were the days.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. And back then, I didn't have a radio that you could put your cable on it. So what I did is putting a cable and twisting it through on my Walkman, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching the French equivalent of Movie Network, which we call Super Écran, and I was listening to Super Écran with my Walkman, and I don't know how, but the cable guy managed to know that I was messing with the channel, so he didn't like it. So I got a call. I got a home call. A guy from the cable company went home because the fact is, as I was taking the cable, and with induction, I was putting a longer strip of unshielded cable and twisted to over the Walkman, so I can get it in stereo. And the guy didn't like it. They managed to find. I think they can find if you're taking too much signal or stuff like that. So. I went back.
I remember doing something similar when cable TV, analog cable TV was around. I took an old analog antenna, and I put it over my TV, and I stole the neighbor's cable TV using that method.
If you were able to do that, I think that's the cable provider that was not good enough.
They're not very shielding their cable.
I was going to say that must have been a long time ago with RG59, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It was about 2014, 2015.
Maybe older building, because I know some still haven't changed.
In Canada, they haven't. In Canada, they have had really like. If you're outside of the cities, if you're not in Ottawa, you're not in Montreal, and you're in a small town, it's 1980s technology.
Yeah, we still have like our old swimming pool that is a danger.
Yeah, I do remember when I was installing. I did install Shot Direct, and I saw those old school cable. Yes, there were a G59, like you said, but I found some of really old 70s and 80s cable that was still there. And God, it doesn't take much to carry the signal back in the day, because it's been 10 years now or 12 years since cable are using a G6 instead of a 59. It's a matter of internet. Why they're using RG6 now, but
I just remember the picture quality being so awful. Like, we paid for TBS and we paid for WGN, and we had the cable, like the analog cable converter box.
Yeah.
And the quality of those channels, I don't know why we're paying extra money for those, but the quality, they were on higher UHF channels, and it was just like snowy, not the greatest. And if you bought a pay-per-view, like, why would you buy these pay-per-views and the video quality was like kind of snowy and crappy anyway?
I think you actually got pay-per-view like on analog cable.
It was through a cable box, or I think a lot in the Ottawa area they would rent a proprietary tuner box, kind of like what they have now, but it would give you your cable channels. But originally you had to buy like a converter box. And then the converter box, you had to output it to the decoder, and then the decoder would output it to your TV. And it was like...
It was a black box. I think it was a kind of...
it was a wood grain box. It was a wood grain box in my
And it had like a number pad at the top. That I do remember.
Well, mine didn't. Mine was just a box. So you had to have the converter box on top, and then it went into the wood grain box, which matched the Atari 2600 that I had on top of the TV too.
Here with Videotron, what we had for those scrambled channel, what we had.
Video away?
No, before the video away. Okay, instead of having like a video away or something like that, what we had is a black box, a kind of low passing filter with scrambling your channel. So you get your cable in that black box. You put the output of the black box inside your Gerald, those
the old Gerald converter box.
And the output of your Gerald
the consumer's
is going to your VCR, and your VCR is going to your TV. So you can imagine that everything that we're taping or seeing was crap, because everything of those little things I explained are just RF modulation stuff. So you're not on
my
video level
composition. Awful.
It's awful.
Basically, it was a cable box to get like the channels over 13. So it was a converter. We call it a converter box back then. My family still calls a remote a converter.
We like call that a
I think a converter is a normal term. I don't know. I remember hearing that all the time.
Yeah, converter, because all the TVs had dials on them. You buy them and they had a dial.
Those were the best TVs.
Yeah, and you had to switch it to UHF. Like there's a little U at the top of the dial for the UHF channels, but the UHF channels were different than the cable UHF channels.
Yeah.
So you had to get the converter for that. If you find an old Sears catalog from the 80s, you'll see them in the catalog.
So I think
I used to have one of those TVs as a kid, but I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, but you'd be going in that, then in the cable box, then into your VCR to record your shows, and the picture quality was terrible.
Yeah, and
That's
it's all
why
RG59 with one strand of shielding in it.
I remember people calling them boom tubes or something like that.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind a console TV though. That would be kind of cool, but I don't have space for one. Patrick's probably got a few console TVs.
Console TV.
The piece of furniture. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, these TV.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had
the woodwork. The woodwork TV. When you ask yourself if they've done more work on the wood than the TV itself.
Probably.
Pure A wood grain.
Well, you had to have the TV so you could put the receivers that were just as heavy on top for C-band.
Yeah, that's right.
That's one good thing.
Robbie has a few of them, I know.
You'd have a place
and a beta
to stack
machine
all
that
that
would
stuff.
probably weigh about
40 pounds.
Probably weigh about 40 pounds, and the top loader beta machine.
Yeah. Well, I bought one of those
with the CED video disc player. That thing was like 40 pounds.
Oh yeah.
I remember. We used in my street when I was like 5 or 6. There used to be this weird kid that was like.
It was me.
No, it was definitely me.
that had one of those old TVs, and he had like the first PlayStation on it.
But you know, guys, I'm much older than you, and I can tell you that my first TV was black and white, by the way.
My first TV was color.
Yeah,
And
I think
back in the day, it
I
was
used to
not cheap to
have
have a color TV.
I used to have a small black and white TV in my room as a kid, and it was the shell of the TV was red. It was a bright red TV, and it had built-in rabbit ears too. So, like even in the I had my room in the basement when I was a kid, and even then with analog, you could pick up channels over the air, or even in the basement, because the analog signal would carry through the house no problem. You'd never be able to do that with digital.
Yeah.
Probably because there were less interference.
My first television was a General Electric television. And I remember I had like a Toshiba VCR. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I want to try to refind it. I want to try to refind another TV like that. I just love these TVs. I want to hook up my media center to it. Right now, what I'm doing, until I can get a satellite dish, is I just have my HTPC, which is just like a server case. It's just like some old computer parts that I have. I stuck an old hard drive and my old graphics card.
You
Took
can't
my
even,
server case in there, media center.
you don't even have room for
By the way, I got a big clue
dish
on
or
Discord or on Restream tonight, because I just realized the link that went out, and I put it out on Facebook and all these places. It didn't send it out to the right link. It created its own stupid Restream. I want my money back, Restream.
Are you paid for Restream?
Yeah, I use some of the features from it. It's not much, but I have their basic account with them.
I mean,
it's mainly for the video chat, but I'm gonna maybe tomorrow I might play around on with the Discord, and maybe just see if we can just use Discord in OBS.
Robbie, where does the chat come from in here? Where do the questions come from?
YouTube. So
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I do get Facebook chats too. Like it'll have like a little icon for Facebook. But the weird thing is, it went out to Facebook, the Facebook link.
Originally, when I looked up the link, I didn't see it on your Facebook at that time. But this is, again, very early on. So I don't know when you sent it out exactly.
Yeah, I sent it out last night.
Yeah, we need those because it's keeping us on the subject.
Well, I was going to say, back to Patrick's point of the signals penetrating the house over the antenna back when he had his black and white TV. I think back to being in school, and then we wanted to watch the Olympics, but thankfully a coat hanger and a paperclip did the trick to generally watch the TV in class, right? And I'm pretty sure, that was the way we wanted to watch it, at least. So I was the guy who went and did that, right? Because again, did we really want to do work? I don't know. I figured we'd want to watch TV instead.
That's the great thing about analog signals. Analog signals, you could pick up any channel 2, channel 3.
Analog was just awesome.
But it would go through buildings, no problem. That's the thing.
Yeah.
With digital, you got to have it won't go through a lot of building materials, and analog also, it'll carry nicely so that even if the channel isn't perfect, it's still watchable, whereas digital is kind of like all or nothing, eh?
That's why we are
doing something
stuff like that.
I remember as a kid, like I had my Sega Genesis, and I hooked up like a cable, and I was able to like pick up like some TV. So I would actually like I took the TV, I put it on the floor with my Sega Genesis, and I took the cable and I put it like the high as I could. Like when I was 5 years old, my mother was really mad, and I made like a mess of wires on the floor of my room.
So Eggplant, you don't have room for a KU dish, or you don't have a yard or anything? You're in an apartment?
No, I have a yard in the back.
Oh.
It's just that I don't have a KU band yet.
Oh, okay.
I just have a Bell dish, and those aren't really perfect for KU band.
I don't know if Eggplant's in an area. Perhaps maybe you can find a HughesNet dish to modify. I don't know. Star Choice, either or.
I could probably find one. But there, most of the people in my area just recycle them.
Yeah.
Yeah, ExploreNet and the dish from ExploreNet, maybe Usenet, maybe also Usenet. The problem with them, the mass is bigger that way.
They're not good.
And that's not the same mass. The arm on the dish is harder to put a new LNB on them because they are really made for
I know you have to fabricate a bracket of some sort.
Yeah,
it's hard to
I have an idea.
I mean, if you're good at that, you know how to weld. If you know how to weld, good for you. I guess you can. But it's just like,
I know how to weld. I just don't have a
the key is you've got to get the LNB fixed on the focal point of the dish.
Yeah.
So you have to take measurements when you take off the HughesNet LNB or whatever, ExploreNet LNB for that matter.
Yeah, I'll just probably buy like an actual.
It's too much trouble for the forward.
For a starting point,
if you can find a Shaw or a Star Choice dish, that'll you can get free linear KE.
I get people asking me that all the time, and they say I'm just gonna use an old ExploreNet dish. And I'm like, here's a link to buy one off eBay. No, I'm just gonna use the. Okay, good luck with that. Have fun.
It's a lot less trouble to have the right dish to begin with.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some more experimentation to find out the particular ExploreNet dishes and how to fit a KU LNB, because I plan on using the Eagle S-Pen 270 and see how I can fit that on. But I still have to fabricate something for that.
I have to see it to believe it. Like it's one of those things people say, "I'll just do that." It always starts with just.
I know.
Oh, I did do it. It is doable.
Have they actually done it? And North Coasters tried it. The other thing is,
I can tell you that I've taken the super dishes that Dish Network had, and I put the Eagle S-Pen LNB on it without issue. Right, I was able to fabricate what they had already.
So what I did to try it out was I took a Shaw dish I had, and put I just bought an Avenger, a cheap Avenger Universal LNB. And with a replacement bracket and put it on there. But what I ended up having to do was bend the bracket a bit to hit the focal point of the dish.
Yeah, you had to bend it up in that video.
Yeah, I bent the bracket, and I also there's a bolt on there to slide the LNB up and down, as well as turn it side to side. But what I found easier was just to put my meter on there. And I got it I set the elevation to, I think, 97 west, got all that set up, and then just until I hit something and just adjusted it until I had a decent signal. But it's just a lot of fussing, though. You're better off just to buy a proper.
You have to already scan in all the channels.
Yeah, you have.
No, I ended up finding, I ended up hitting a transponder with it and everything, and I was able to scan in 98 channels on Galaxy.
But you need to scan it with your. You need to aim and scan it with your original LNB, so that you can afterward adjust your new LNB, and that way you won't be off the arc, because if you're not aiming well at a LNB and at a satellite, and you're making a match with the LNB itself, you just end up with less dish to reflect the signal on your LNB. So you're better off aiming with the original LNB, so you're right on it, and that way you will be able to adjust it.
Yeah. My thoughts about that are, though, is that if you're hitting a signal, that tells me that you're hitting the focal point of the dish, right?
You're at least very close enough for it to working, and then you can fine tune it after the fact. If you're if you're on a strong transponder already, then you can adjust it accordingly, right? Depending on if you have a satellite meter or the TV or the satellite receivers.
But it's really not worth it. You're better off, like Robbie says, just buy a dish and an LNB that go together. Especially if you're starting out in the hobby, you're gonna have a way better experience. It's a fun thing to try, but I wouldn't recommend that for a beginner, or it's a pain in the butt.
It's a pain in the butt, but once you get more experience, then I guess it would be better to do that later on.
As a beginner, Yeah, right. As a beginner back in the day, what I did is using those first generation round Star Direct, the old Star something.
Star Choice.
Don't remember.
Star Choice.
The first Star Choice dish were a 30-inch linear round, kind of oval, but up. And those were good enough for 90. And I think they were still on. They're still on the two. There's still two for some channel, but they were a great start. I can tell you, and I used that on with an HH motor also and worked perfectly. But if you're too far from the ERP, if your ERP is too high, if you're too far from the satellite in the footprint, it won't work quite well. You need more than 30-inch dish. But those can work. I think that. But Robbie told me, I think some time ago, that you're better off with an oval dish than a round dish from Star Choice or Shot Direct. So that's the.
Yeah, I prefer the. I did have an old Shot Direct dish, like the old Star Choice dish, the round ones that they had, and they only had one LNB.
Yeah.
And they moved to the oval dishes that have two LNBs, and they work. I find they work decently. Like you can use that and get a lot of the channels on Galaxy 19, the channels on 16 West, all the H.265 channels, and you can get PBS with that. PBS is a little trickier to get, but you can get it.
125.
But did you say that is you're better off with oval than round dish from Shot Direct? Is it what you said?
Yeah. I like those ones better. And plus, you can get the satellite 4 degrees apart because they have two LNBs. So you can get 99 West and 101 West, but there's not much there. You get 97 West.
Moving the dish. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think 87 and 91 was the other combination.
Yeah, you can get some combinations of them.
There's lots of them.
Yeah, but I was talking about the size of the dish. I wonder if you're just to get the signal from one side, you're better off with the round dish or the oval.
For one? I don't know. For motorized dish,
in a matter of size.
Well, one dish is wider, like the oval, the elliptical dish is 33 inches wide. The other dish is 30, I think. So I'm wondering if just kind of the size and shape of the dish. On one dish, you might, like the oval dish, you might get more horizontal transponders, whereas on the old rounder dish, you might be able to pick up vertical transponders easier.
I never thought about it.
I think what we're getting confused on is that those LNBs that were on there were stacked LNBs, and I think they were made by California Amplifier. Maybe somebody can correct me, but I know you had to set it up a particular way. But if you just scanned it as it is, it would scan in everything twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
I think I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Robbie.
That happened to me.
I was looking on Amazon for like a dish, and they actually sell like heaters for KU band dish.
Yeah, you gotta be careful on Amazon.
Yeah,
because they do sell the smaller ones. For if I'm gonna type in band satellite dish, it's probably like a 30.
I'm not sure, Eggplant, if you're trying to find something brand new or not, but maybe check Kijiji, perhaps, to see if someone's selling a used 39-inch dish, maybe.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, because there's no point of buying new stuff.
You shouldn't have to, right? Unless you really want to, but I'm thinking that perhaps you should be able to find a cheap one.
No, I was searching for like C-band, and it got me into Amazon.
C-band.
I find eBay is a lot better for everything for free satellite TV.
I agree.
You get some good deals on eBay. So And I try
Amazon
to
is for selling new stuff. Amazon
Yeah,
is for
it's
selling
eBay.
new stuff only.
Yeah. Well, eBay, you buy new stuff on eBay as well. There's stores and stuff, and they just do all their stuff, their business through eBay.
That's where I got my phone.
And that's why I like eBay, is allows smaller businesses to do their business online through eBay. So where Amazon, I do affiliate marketing, and Amazon is terrible at their affiliate marketing. I don't make a whole lot on commissions with eBay. Like if I do $1,000 in sales, I get like $20, $30 or something like that. It's pretty not very much. But I more do it for the love of the hobby. But if I make a little bit of kickback, that's nice. But it's pretty awful. That's eBay. Amazon, they pay me hardly anything in commissions, and I don't even think they count my commissions. I think I don't know. I'm not impressed with Amazon. So shop at eBay.
They don't pay their worker, so don't expect them to pay you.
Yeah, they don't pay their workers.
I mean, I've been trying to use the Amazon affiliates, and I would think that more people would be shopping on Amazon. But it seems I'm getting a lot more commission credits through eBay. However that works.
I think the other problem is that Amazon skews their search results. So whenever people go and look for satellite parts, you always get all these random listings that have nothing to do with what you're actually looking for, right?
Yeah,
so you're always better off to do a Google search, and then it might directly direct you back to Amazon with one of the search links. But if you're searching with their search engine in Amazon.ca or whatever, you're going to struggle, at least from my experience on searching for anything, not just satellite parts, that is.
Yeah, I'm looking on Kijiji, and you can get these satellite dish for like $60.
It seems to be the number they like on Kijiji. And if you're talking about a Shaw direct dish, I wouldn't even pay $60 for one of those.
If it was a larger dish, I don't know. I might consider it, but if it's the small one, I don't know. It's not worth $60.
That's in the Ottawa, though.
The larger Shaw direct dish with absolutely no bird poop on it, maybe.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, there's one that says please contact.
Someone has a used C-band dish for $1,000 on eBay, and then there's
is that blow up one out there?
Blow up one still there. Yeah, I got to do my weekly eBay.
There's a direct Shaw disc with the tripod for like $125.
Nah.
Now, for people looking for a C-band dish, I don't know if I recommend these things. I've never seen one because they don't have an actuator mover thingy. They're basically a fixed dish. Although, if you just want to fix it on one spot, I guess it's fine. But then you got to figure a way of mounting it with this little round thing at the bottom.
I don't know. From the picture,
it does seem too flimsy.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It looks too flimsy and we get pushed over in the wind. But then again, I know it's just a picture.
Oh, you probably have to.
Don't look at your dish; you will fall.
Yeah, exactly. You probably have to bolt that down to a concrete pad or.
There's a lot of them there, and then there's something. $125,000.
Yeah, I know.
The listing is still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
No one bought it. None of you guys bought it?
No, I did not buy it. I don't know. North Coaster or Patrick has a lot of space in the yard for us, so maybe we'll pitch it and he can install it.
Have another mortgage
Send
on
it over. Send it over. I have the space for it.
I don't, so it's not happening over here.
My landlord is gonna probably shit on me.
Just put it on the roof.
I can't even.
I think.
I'd be afraid of somebody popping it.
A giant ball blew in my backyard. A giant $125,000 ball.
That would almost be like having a bouncy castle for a satellite dish. Or like
I will put it on my lake.
It would blow away in the wind.
If you install it, you'll have to take out insurance on it.
That's right.
There's a way to recycle those things. Remove the satellite thing and use it as a soccer ball.
Big soccer ball.
The thing with that dish is that it's a broadcaster, it's an emitter. So you will probably
Mhm.
need some license to get that, or at least a technical amateur license, or
They're
something like
selling
that.
it to
You'd have to pay for an uplink to a satellite too. With that,
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
those
The
pricey.
costs
Those are
never
pricey.
end. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see-
The cost can't be that terrible because there's lots of channels on 97 West, and they're always advertising free space.
Not free. They're advertising themselves.
No. I know what you mean, but I'm saying that they have available space to transmit on.
Joke, it's for free space. Yes, right.
Yeah, I wish it was free. I don't think so.
I think
It's free to use it, and you have to pay to use it.
If you have $5,000 a month, and a lot of places don't. Like they're like, I'm Press TV. They kind of keep forgetting to pay their satellite bill, and they move around. And
Is that right?
I have a question for you guys. Would you?
I don't know why
satellite?
they stop paying, but they go on and off a lot. A lot of these services they go off, and I think one of the big reasons is they don't pay their satellite bill.
There's probably a third tier pricing, and when you have the third tier pricing, it's gonna move you from place to place because you're just filling up the free space. So that's probably why they're moving.
Would anybody use a antenna, an outdoor antenna from Russia?
What's the question? Sorry.
Yeah,
Would
right.
anybody use an outdoor antenna from Russia?
Hey, gosh, we're so American here. I don't think so.
I'm not sure. Would it be?
I
don't know what the difference would be. That's the question.
I know, and a guy from Discord that is from Poland.
Well, an antenna is an
antenna.
That's what I was gonna say.
You might just need to maybe use an adapter on the transformer, but I mean, you could buy an antenna from Australia and get it to work here.
Because I just don't know if they use doesn't the UK use a different RF connector or something like
Yeah,
that?
that's what I mean. You just get an
an
adapter to adapt to an RF connector for North America.
Doesn't
That's why you guys. Here's back on eBay. So here's a $214 all-in-one package, but then you're gonna have to go back and buy another receiver because this receiver is from 2000 and
This
2003 for that matter. It's pretty ancient now.
Yeah,
I have.
It actually is a 39-inch dish with the coax and with the LNB, but it's got a SCART connector, so you can get yourself one of those SCART adapters for your European TV. I don't know.
Just buy the 39-inch below.
Yeah, and then, here's the 39-inch. I don't think this has an LNB though, but it's probably a good buy. It's $30 for shipping, so it's gonna come to like pretty much the same price here.
Yeah,
and then avoid this one, the 30-inch, because if you're gonna it's gonna be close to the same price. Get the 39-inch.
Yeah,
because the 30-inch is the same as the old Star Choice dish I was talking about. So.
Is this eBay.ca? I just don't know if the shipping would be accurate. I guess it is.
It's .com. It's .com.
Change it to .ca, and I wonder if the price would change.
It depends. Some things from Canada, the retail price is more expensive. But if it comes from the States, then you're going to pay more in shipping and also possibly pay import fees as well. Because everything goes through eBay's global shipping, so
I know. I hate that part.
Yeah, right. But it's more costly because of that.
I know. Yeah. Some of the items, I've had to purchase through that, and I don't like the global shipping program. But anyways,
that receiver, that SCART receiver too, that's probably just a DVB receiver, I think. Hey, Robbie?
Oh, it would be like MPEG 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but double shipping isn't USPS and isn't based on USPS, and on our side is Canada Post. So
it would depend. It might be handed over to Canada Post after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, but it takes like 1,000 years to.
I know. It'd be easier to find something local.
Because my experience with that is that it's kind of cheap. It's okay, but it's always okay if you don't use UPS on FedEx. for the price. But as you said,
Awful. They'll charge you a brokerage fee when it comes to your door.
Yeah, UPS. You
yeah,
gotta watch.
they,
Yeah, they'll
that's
make you pay up
extortion
front too.
because those fees are already paid for.
So
I'm
that
still
receiver has-
waiting for my graphics card to write for my laptop.
I'm looking at that all-in-one thing, and that thing with the SCART has an adapter for. What is it? It's showing
Yes.
red, green, blue on the back of it.
Yeah, I have those adapter right here, and I was wondering what was the problem with those SCART receiver you were talking about? Because apart from having a SCART adapter that is still flimsy, and
Most people have a TV that is got like only HDMI ports
Yeah.
these days.
So unless you have an
So,
older
don't use
TV,
that
then
My
yeah.
TV doesn't even have like a HDMI. I'm
Yeah,
using,
it kind of looks. Yeah.
my television.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yours is a little fancier. I think you got the S video out on it too. This doesn't even. have
no,
that.
I don't. Just have the composite. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, right. Unfortunately, I cannot use it. I think my
Yeah.
receiver don't provide it. But I'm going full screen. Great. So those SCART adapters are quite good. There's a switch here. You can switch from input to output. It depends on what you're using for. And some of those adapters, instead of having audio and composite video and S video, they do have a component video. So there's two kind of SCART adapters. The problem with them, maybe it's my receiver. I need to hold it just a bit like that because the plug are
The
not
pins?
kind of flimsy.
Pins
so,
are not making good contact internally or something.
yeah, and on my receiver it's making interference for some reason. I don't get why. I should just put some pin in it and output the signal directly instead of using those. So
My dash cam camera that I have here, it's the same way. It's the cable. I got caught up in my leg when I was stepping out of my vehicle, and I caught I was in the passenger seat, and I caught the USB cable, hold the pins, and now this thing is garbage.
yeah.
It was a nice camera. This is the 8-man camera. It's a nice little dash cam.
Mhm.
You probably solder it back though, but that's better, easier said than
Who
done.
makes it, Robbie?
8-man.
Oh,
They're like cheap. They're not very expensive cameras. They're like, I think these were $80 or whatever. I don't know what they're going for now. It's got a metal case. Like I bought another one at Giant Tiger for like $14.
Yeah.
I said $14. I gotta try and see how bad this thing is.
Is it those cameras that are actually we don't know about that, but are they actually those kind of cheap cameras that are based on a CMOS that is made for CCTV, so the image is still crappy nevertheless? Because they make those cheap cameras like that. It's like a CCTV with a USB card and a LCD monitor on it, but
Yeah,
the image
it's not for video production. It's just for seeing what's going on. Yeah.
yeah, right.
I mean, for $60, I mean, or whatever, $60, $80 or whatever these things are. I mean, that's not bad.
Because they
I'm not using
They use
I'm
the
not
same
using it
thing
like,
to make camcorders on the
my
cheap.
YouTube camcorder, which is this $400 camcorder that I've done most of my videos with for the last couple of years.
By the way, I have those you mount. I have the two of those. Those are incredible to use. They're cheap and they're ways.
Yeah,
I do like to use them.
Yeah, the camera itself is just a little thing here. It just pops out.
You can use a DSLR on those you mount.
Yeah. You can use a DSLR. You use any camera really on this. This is a nice tool to have. It actually has a little tripod mount at the bottom. So you can put the tripod mount on it and then just set it on the tripod. If you want to get off the tripod, you got the mount ready to go.
And just to say that I don't lie,
Here's
mine.
Yeah, you got the same one. Yeah, you got the same one as me. I
same
got
one.
the cheap one. But
And they're
I
cheap.
got the
And
cheap.
they're cheap to buy. Yeah.
Yep.
But they work great, and most of the time they work great. The shoe is not perfect. It's kind of tilting the camera sometimes, but for the price, there's nothing better.
was like my my green screen Dan. It was like, I don't know, it was like $40 to $70. I'll zoom in on my camera here. So it's like, it actually makes a good, like if you have a projector, you want to set up a projection in a pinch, you can I'll bring up full screen here. So it has, I'm only using half the green screen. I can turn the green screen and make it even larger if I need it, but I wanted to fit it in this space a little bit better. So there's a effect where this is kind of a handy thing to have for that purpose. For doing video.
Oh, you got a remote for your camera?
Yeah. This the Thor broadcast camera. It's a pan tilt zoom. Get back in the shot there. Yeah, and the green screen actually, I found the kids play. I play with the kid. The kids play with it more because I set up all the scenes for them to. My daughter takes her Barbies and does like, she should have a YouTube channel because there's like a lady who plays with her Barbies on YouTube and has 1 million views and makes a ton of money doing it. And kids sit and watch it. I mean, they play with toys for a living. And then toy companies send them free toys to play with them in their videos so that they'll.
If I got free toys as a kid, I would have been super happy. Actually, I didn't play with much toys as a kid. I
played with Star Wars. I had the Millennium Falcon. I wish I still had the Millennium Falcon that I had. It got broke.
I have like a Nerf
on my wing
when I was a kid. It was like a rocket launcher. You would pump it and it would shoot, and I would, when my friend would always come, I would always shoot him.
In my days, we were playing with Legos and 8-bit computers, so.
I was playing with 8-bit computers too, but that was in the 90s because that's what we had around. That's what I could afford in the 90s was an 8-bit computer. I didn't have an IBM PC or an Amiga. Those were the rich kids that had those.
I had as a kid, I had an IBM computer in like 2005. And the reason why I had like an old Windows 98 computer in like 2005 is because my mother back then didn't really have like new technology. She was still using like a typewriter.
Typewriter. Well, this was like around here. I had an Atari in '85 when I think they were all on clearance. You get like a stack of games for like $1, you know, or you buy games for $1 each. So we had a stack of them, like of all the games because they were on clearance.
Do we have a question so we can get back on the subject?
Yeah.
I think we're done with questions there, unless there's someone who has one.
Oh.
Not right now.
I want to go. I'm ready to wrap this up anyway because it's been 2 hours. So I think if you guys want to jump on Discord, I don't know if you guys. I guess it's not the description of this video because I made another video and it's not appearing anymore. So we're on Discord. Find my. Just going in a lot of my newer videos. I have a link tree or a flow code link, and it has all my links on there, and you can find the Discord server there. Okay.
Gotcha.
Sounds good.
Facebook is not letting me post my link tree. I don't know why they block link trees, but I don't know. Facebook's doing what they do, I guess. They do some days, and other days they don't. I don't know. And I'll be on Discord after this, so if you guys want to chat for a bit on Discord, we'll be there. And maybe I'll be on Discord next week for Saturday night. We'll see what happens. So thanks, guys, for joining in, and
thanks a lot, Robbie.
No worries.
Thanks, Robbie.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you later.
Absolutely.
Stay warm.
Yep.